Yeah, these guys are in their own little world, living the life, living the dream on drugs, stealing junk from everybody. Yeah, look at this. I don't know if this is the mountain bike guys that have been coming down here. This isn't an old trail, I can tell you that. It wasn't always here. But that's just a little bit creepy with the skunk in the bag there. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe to keep people away. I don't know. These guys are in their own little world, just on the meth and everything else. And when people say homeless around here, they don't mean people that are just down on their luck and they don't have a home. They mean, there's the full one. They mean people that are into the drugs and living out there like this. Okay, well, let's get out of this stinky area now that we know that that is a skunk. I thought I could smell a skunk. the highway, and he was rolled right upside down right there. And the guy had told me that that was his second rollover in a short amount of time. I felt really bad for him, but he came up here and this road was glare ice. I think he climbed the hill and slid backwards into here or something, but yeah, he was way down in this area. Might be able to find pieces of plastic or something. Sometimes after a rollover, you'll find pieces of body panels and parts and signal lights. And I went up where we hit that moose there on Highway 40 North, and I was still finding fishing lures in the ditch there from when we hit that moose in 2016. There's a tire down in there. Before it wouldn't do that. This is just an oil and gas lease here. Try high range. Yeah, last time it was cutting out on me. That's because there was a hole in my fuel filter. I put that steel fuel filter in this time. That Evil Energy. It's a reusable fuel filter. RPMs there. I could probably go a little weight, 1 gram lighter on my clutch weights, but whatever, it works pretty good the way it is. This is another little drug camp hangout. One time there was a truck that somebody stole, they put it up here and burnt it. Fire department had to come put it out, I think. And anyway, nobody's been up here this winter, like with the quads. Definitely got to watch your back around this area. We got old Team China, folks. We're not scared. Steep little climb. Crazy steep or nothing, but it's a little steep, and it was just climbing there at 4,500 RPMs. That's where this engine makes its torque, right around 45. So the climbs are like nothing. here, I cleaned up this little area there. Last time I was here, cut that stump off so somebody could just sit on it. Yeah. Nice little spot. has 26-inch tires. That's a straight up bank right there. That's pretty good. If I wanted to, I could mow that tree over, but I'm not going to. Nowhere to go anyway up there. Whoa. Working again because now I can see my when my diff lock is in and out. This thing will be unstoppable when I put 29.5-inch tires on. Smell gas leak, and I think my little vent line popped off. It wants to roll here. We'll fix that. Cage is hitting the tree. That's weird. my fuel level is too high. Either that or my needle and seat is leaking slightly, but I'm pretty sure sure it's just my float level is just too high, so it keeps putting fuel out the overflow. And I got a plug for it, but I see it's popped out, so I'll put it back in. Suspected that my fuel level was too high, or maybe my needle and seat was leaking slightly, but I'm pretty sure it's just the float level is just too high. So there's a vent tube right there, and when the float level gets too high, the fuel goes out of there. So I put a plug in it. Now this plug is for a battery, like a little quad battery, and you can see it's not too compatible with the gasoline. So I'm gonna have to plug it with a stick or something, because I can smell it. It's leaking out a bit. So I'll have to lower my float height, and that stumbling sound that I have now, I know exactly what it is. And it could have to do with this fuel pump, because I have a high pressure fuel pump. Could have something to do with that. Then she'll be completely dialed in, because other than that slight little stumble, and I thought it was running rich, and it must be, because I pulled the choke and it didn't make much of a difference. So that's what it is. There we go, folks. I robbed a stick from the bush. You can see the gas did not like that plastic. So I plugged it off and she'll be good. I won't be smelling gas anymore. But I do have to fix that float height. we go. 14-inch bar is not too bad. It's not quite 14 inches though because of that bucking spike. But yeah. Well, that couldn't have worked out any better where that tree landed. Got my little counterweight there. buck her up, folks. Might as well hang around. We'll make her a big, long, boring video. It's a bit dark, but you'll be able to see. Beauty night. You know what? There's a nice one less tree to fall on the trail. Hurt somebody or block the trail. Oh, and I see there's another tree right behind this one. Awesome. I'll grab that another time. I took my rubber suspension bumpers out for this trip. I didn't want to, I want a smoother ride, but this is light wood. Nice pine. I was pretty low on pine. I've had lots of spruce, but not much pine. Running pretty rich. I think it actually broke in, so the rings are seating, and that's why it's running a bit rich. And it's not that cold out either. That's part of it. I gotta say, it's a pretty nimble saw. I might have to go to one of those competitions where they do the limbing there. Gutless. But that'll change. Since it's running so rich, I'm just going to pop the cover off here, if I can. I'll have to get my knife out. There's my little pocket knife. And that should compensate, because man, this thing is not responsive. It's gutless. But like I say, that's going to change. Here's the cover. It's pretty warm out, so that's going to make it run rich. And then that air filter might be starting to, take in a little bit of restriction. So that's going to give it less air. That'll make it run rich. We'll see how it works without the cover. It's certainly not going to run lean, I don't think. Huge difference in throttle response right there. So this saw is going to be good. Once I do a muffler mod and open up that cover, man, without any porting, it's still going to be pretty good. Still running rich. Could be that torch spark plug, I don't know. I usually run like an NGK or a gem. yeah, it's definitely broken in. That didn't take long. About 4 tanks of fuel. But like I say, it is pretty warm today. That could play a role. Is this thing still recording? Oh yeah, it's still recording. Yeah, it's actually a nice little saw. I think this is going to be one of my favorites. It is super nimble. And it's actually a really smooth cutting saw. So I like that. Yeah, anyway, just got a little firewood. I'll put the counterweight on the front. And I'll load the box up. I won't even have to strap anything down. That's going to be perfect. You can tell it's beetle killed pine just by the ring on it. You see the ring for all those that don't know? I believe that's something to do with the... I'm not sure if it's from the bug or the tree. I think it's the tree. It's like a defense mechanism for the tree type thing, you know? Because the beetle is boring into it, and either that or it's some fungus. I forget what it is. You can Google it if you want. Beetle killed pine. But anyway, this is the king of the bush around here. This stuff right here. Like, this feels really heavy right now. Like, that's super heavy. Feels like hardwood, but it's totally dry. I mean, look at, there's a big check in it. This is like premium firewood. You cannot get better firewood in Alberta, in my opinion, than that stuff. Like tamarack, it burns pretty good too, but man, beetle killed pine, it's top dog in my mind. I mean, I burn everything, tamarack, you name it, but I really like that beetle killed pine. Where I put this switch, I'm gonna have to move it. Gotta be careful with the old winch, folks. I got a friend there, Ben. He got his finger caught in the winch cable and he lost the tip of his finger. So always have an escape route with the old fingers. Yeah, I just hooked this to the top rack, the top grab handle. Counterweight in there. My winch doesn't work very good. It's got to be all torn apart. There's a bunch of stripped gears in there. I'll have to rebuild it. And that's from me not using the snatch block. Running their dogs behind their quads, and they're just behind the quad or the side-by-side, and just as the tire hits the stick, it props it up, now you've got a real nice spear for your dog. And I remember when I was when Chevelle was a pup, I had to take her to the vet there when she got her hide ripped off. She hit the bumper of my motorhome chasing a cat. But anyways, and the vet had told me there was a dog that was just in there, and that's how it died. It was chasing its owner. I don't know, maybe even somebody I know. I don't know. I never did hear anybody talking about it, but anyways, ended up dog got a stick in the chest, went right through it, and it killed the dog. So I'm always conscious of that, and so I throw the big stuff off the trail, but the little ones, they stay on because they act like rebar in the trail, you know. But the big ones, they gotta go because they're just spears. Well, it's pretty darn dark, but my little action camera there, it's a DJI Action Pro, Action 5 Pro or Action Pro 5, whatever you call it. It's on super night mode now, but it actually works pretty good because when I put it in the other mode, you couldn't see a thing. It's not pitch black, but it's close. Getting there. But you can hang around, have another drink, hang out with old Indie Woods. It's fun. Well, we made, let's see here, folks, we made 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. $1. We made $1. Holy smokes. I don't believe it. $1. That's pretty darn good. Okay. Not there. Forget about that. All the cans back here. I shouldn't have to strap it down. I hope. No, I won't. I won't have to. Bag in here. Grab the bigger stuff here. I should be able to grab two at a time. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. More firewood for the wood stove. A friend of mine called me and she wants another load of firewood. I said, yeah, I can bring you some. And she says, is it dry? And so I said, well, yeah, like, wasn't the last stuff dry? And she said, oh, yeah. I just thought I'd ask. I was like, oh, okay. 'Cause apparently not her, but another fella that lives near her couldn't wait for me because I was too busy to bring him another load of firewood. And so he ended up going getting a load for somebody else, from somebody else. And he said it was so wet, he couldn't get his stovepipe temperature past 320 degrees. So, when I went there, I unloaded the wood, and man, you should have seen the stuff that this guy was bringing him. It was like trees with branches, but just like cut off, like as if you broke them off with your hands. Just snapped off, like sticking out about 6 inches, like all kinds of rounds like that. And I guess he did bring some split too, but any of the rounds that he brought had big branches sticking out of them. Like, I never do that. I mean, selling firewood to somebody, you kind of, you gotta make it so it's a little bit user friendly for them to burn, you know? Come on. Okay, oh yeah, this is all gonna fit in here pretty easy. It's almost loaded up here. Just a small tree, but replenishes the wood pile. I don't know, it's getting pretty dark. Oh yeah, you can still see me. I don't think you can zoom in this mode though. Here, I'll bring you in. There's a few of you that are probably still hanging around. Some people got bored already, but some people find this interesting. Let me know in the comments if you hung around. There we go. Can you see me? There you go. Sit here and listen to me ramble. Almost like a live video. I was talking to a guy today from Ohio, just in the comment section, and I forget what he was talking about. Oh, we were talking about pine. And he said his father or his grandfather told him never to burn pine, and he's not wrong. Like, I mean, if you got a choice and you're burning, if you got a choice to burn pine or maple, well, obviously you want to burn maple because this stuff burns dirty. There's no doubt about it. I hear guys saying, oh, I burn pine and it burns clean. Well, maybe you're not the kind of guy that goes out and looks at your chimney when you first throw that wood in. Or, I don't know, maybe you got different kind of pine. This pine is sitting on a bunch of coal. And I always wondered if that played a role. Because there's the coal seam, well, there's probably coal under here too, but there's a big coal seam that runs, oh, maybe a kilometer, maybe 2 kilometers at the most that way. And it runs all the way to north, like to Grand Cache at least, and I think it goes beyond to Grand Prairie. It's the same scene. If you look on the map, it's right in line with the Cheviot mine. That's the coal mine I worked at. And that seam runs all the way through there. And man, when you're cutting firewood there, like in that area, in this whole area in general, and like I say, there's other coal here too. It's not just that one coal seam. And I've always wondered if that's why. Maybe do the trees somehow absorb something in the ground that makes them burn dirty because they sit on a bed of coal? I don't know. All I know is that this pine will burn dirty in the beginning, even when it's well seasoned. It'll still burn a bit dirty, but then it cleans up. But you mostly notice just the dirtiness right in the beginning. And maybe people aren't just going and looking at their chimneys. Well, look at that, folks. You don't have to strap her down or nothing. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna load up the little Radley. I haven't had a name for this guy yet. Well, we're gonna come up with a name for little Radley. And yeah, it's gonna be good. Okay, I'll mount you back in the front here. Okay, I gotta get my headlight going. Put the saw away. Get my toque on. Make sure the saw. Yeah, we could have easily cut another tree, a small one. I could have for sure. But it's nice because I don't have to strap it down. It takes so long to strap it down for where I'm driving. I mean, I'm going down little creeks and up the other bank, and that's why I put a counterweight on the front so that holds the front end down on some of the hills. When I first started hauling loads of firewood with Team China there's that one hill and the wheels were a little bit off the ground there. It gets your attention, you know. Well, the saw usually fits in here nice. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, I could probably get it in. Sneak it in here behind the... I'm getting a new rope anyways for this. There we go. I don't want to wreck the paint job on Team China. Oh, there she is. Look at that. Not going anywhere. Oh yeah, she is. She's good. She's good, folks. It's a she. Okay, I got my little bag here. That can stay there, I guess. Got my gloves. Oh man, this turned into a night ride. I absolutely love being in the bush at night. It is so fun. Okay, I gotta change the view on this so it's not in super night mode. It'll probably pick up better. Oh, that's a little better. Yeah. Zoom in and zoom out. We'll go right about there. Okay, let's fire her up. I think we got everything. Got my bag there, e-brake off. Forgot one piece, folks. I had the camera on it. We can't forget that extra piece. There we go. I almost had enough. I could have taken the stump. I could have cut the stump off and used it in the hippie K there, the little hippie killer stove I got, but oh, I should be good. Okay, let's rock and roll. I can see the sun just went down behind the mountains there. Oh boy, it looks pretty. Looks pretty, pretty. I just went out, had a whole pile of fun, put on 10 kilometers, 6 miles. That's nothing, but it's fun. There's just slow little trails, and yeah, if I had to walk home, it'd probably still take me an hour from here, maybe. Okay, well, my fuel's flashing low. We better get going. Okay, let's go, Team China. Pretty crazy, bit of a hairy climb going up there. Like, I mean, you roll, it's not gonna be good, that's for sure. But anyway, it would be cakewalk, right? With Team China the way it is now, oh my goodness, it'd be hold my Sour Patch Kids and watch this. On back home. So thanks for joining me, and I don't know, tell me something in the comments. Tell me a good story. I don't know, something about a rhino, something about a Hysun, something about a chainsaw or the bush. Just tell me something. I'd like to hear your story. Okay folks, have a good one. Peace.